All right, welcome back. Today we're back working on Clifford the Big Red Bronco here, my 1991 Ford Bronco. And we're doing kind of an ignition tune-up on here. We're going to do new spark plugs and then new wires on here. And really the big reason we're doing wires is because when I pulled the intake off, I found one of the wires was actually cut underneath there. The sheathing was cut, and well, that means a potential misfire happening underneath kind of the throttle body area. Can't see it, but actually you can see it. It's right down there. There's one with electrical tape around it. That way I knew where it was. And that's really why we're replacing these parts here. They're also about 10 years old. They've been in here. So we got our parts right down here. So pretty much what we're gonna do, we got new plugs for this thing. We've got the Autolite coppers, the cheapest things you can get. These are the Autolite 25s. Really, really inexpensive, best way to do this. We have the Ford Racing spark plug wires right here, the 9mm. There's the part number right down there. These are for the red ones because, you know, red truck, red wires. We have some of this sheathing. This is the Flexo Pet Tech Flex braided sleeving, and this is essentially to get these better protected from where they are. I don't know if this is how how they were routed. I might change the routing a little bit on them, but I want them to look a little bit better and be a little bit more protected, especially kind of in these areas where they're contacting other things. So we're just gonna slip that on there. Should make that better. And then we have some of the Ford Racing spark plug wire separators. Pretty simple, because right now we're using zip ties, because long story short, we got the motor replaced 10 years ago. I had them install the wires and the plugs in there, and they got rid of all my separators. So I don't have any of the factory separators. So I'm using the good old zip tie wire separators for 10 years. So it's about time for something nicer than that, right? So that's all we got here. So in the Bronco, we are running what they call like the 6-liter tune-up, is, you know, what it's called in the Bronco and F-150 world. So pretty much with that tune-up, you run a hotter coil. So we got the MSD coil back in there. Then you can run, with that MSD coil, you're on the wires that, you're on the thicker wires that can handle the higher voltage to kick out. And then you run the MSD cap and rotor down there. And then with that, you can run a larger gap on the spark plugs, bump your ignition timing up a couple degrees, gain a little power, gain a little fuel efficiency. Kind of the basis of it. I've liked it. It's worked pretty good for me, so I don't have a reason to change it. So that's kind of what we're using, the parts we have. Everything else on the ignition system is working great. No problems. It's really just that one wire, but I'm going to swap them all out. Just get them all brand new. Then I'll have spares. I'll throw them in the back of the truck, and we'll have the longest ones as spares just in case we need them. So we do need to go ahead and get these spark plugs gapped out, because they do not come gapped out enough right out of the box here. So these ones, let's see if it even says what they come gapped at. They're supposed to gap them at 55 thousandths. So these guys right out of the box are gapped at right about 40 thousandths. So we need to gap these up to, again, 55 thousandths, 0.055 is what we need to go to. So we'll kind of pop that apart. And we're just going to very slowly work our way up to that 55 thousandths. There you go, like that, 55 thousandths. That's pretty decent. All right, so just gotta do that for all 8 of these to start off with. That way these are all set to go in. Then I need to go get some dielectric grease, because apparently I'm out of dielectric grease. I don't know how that happened, but we have no dielectric grease in the garage right now. So I need to get some dielectric grease. So we're gonna make an O'Reilly stop, get some dielectric grease, and then we can go start pulling spark plugs out and wires and start swapping around and getting new stuff installed, and we should be good to go. All right, let's open these guys up. So here's our new wires here. So side, so coil wire right here. Then we'll just lay them out in order. That way we can figure it out, and they are numbered, which is pretty nice. So here's 4, and this is 7. So this one here is for a different coil, not the type we have. We are going to use this as our coil wire right there. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then our coil wire. Awesome. This guy will just keep off to the side. I mean, it's not the right thing for our application. Then we got our wire separators here, and I want to make sure they work. They better work. They're Ford Performance. To go with the Ford Performance wires. Oh yeah, that's gonna work good. Heck yeah. All right. Awesome. That's gonna work. This should be the right, that's pretty thin, man. So this stuff, I guess you heat and cut, and then you can expand it with some needleless pliers to fit it over the spark plug wires. Kind of what's gonna happen here. So that's pretty much what this stuff is for. Really, it's for like essentially what would be the passenger side bank, where this stuff's gonna go. I'm curious if anyone says anything. I don't think so. So I got this stuff, which should be the same size as our spark plug wire-ish, kind of. Let's see if this stuff even works. I don't know if this stuff's gonna work. I don't think so. I might have to pick up something different. All right, got our dielectric grease, and we picked up this wire loom here. This is just 1/2-inch wire loom, cheapy stuff. It'll work. We just need to cut it to where it needs to be, and just to keep them from rubbing on stuff. Just cheap little split loom plastic wire loom. So that's what the Mustang uses too, is that, just to protect it. But it's time to get in here. So we need to pull off this holder on our cap here, which I think is Phillips heads. Yep. So we need to take that off, and then we can start pulling wires off, start redoing everything under there. Okay, so let's go ahead, pull these 2 Phillips screws off of here. This just holds, this is essentially the hold down for all your wires. If you had MSD wires, they would come through here, and this would actually hold them down even better. But without them, they still hold down pretty good. So this guy should come right off. There's our coil wire. I guess I gotta cut some zip ties. All right, everything should be loosey-goosey on this side. Cool. Okay, so our coil wire, we'll do that first. So pop off our coil, run this guy out of here. Oh, I gotta remember how to do this guy. So I think we push in, there we go. Push in there, put off to the side, and then this guy, I think, kind of wiggles his way out of here. Yeah, there we go. Okay, there's our coil wire. All right, and realistically, I just put the dielectric grease in here. Just squeeze. Right, and once we got that on, we should just be able to pick one end, throw it on our coil, and then our other end goes in this thingamabob, like here, and get shoved down like this kind of. There it goes, just like that. And then this guy snaps back in here. All right, and we can set this off to the side till we're all done. And then that's ready to go back on top. Cool. I'm just gonna set this up on the cowl. Stays out of the way. All right, so let's just kind of start working at this semi-methodically, I guess. Let's see. Yeah, our number 5 right here. Like I said, it's been a few years. There it goes. Okay. That guy off. Pull that off of there. We got number 5. Okay, we're gonna pop this on the coil on our distributor. Right there. I guess technically they're numbered, so we can pull all the wires on the side off. Get them in the right position, pull the spark plugs out, put the spark plugs back in. All right, let's do that. I like that idea. So we're just gonna do all the wires on this side first. Okay, so we got this whole side, so our 4 wires plus our coil wire, all these plugged into our distributor. So that's 5, 6, 7, 8. Pretty easy to remember, it's just 5, 6, 7, 8. So we need to pull out some spark plugs, and then we'll put new plugs in there, see how the old ones were, and then we can pop these on and start working on the passenger side. So looking at our old ones, they're honestly not half bad. They actually look pretty decent. I just want to see what we're looking gap-wise. Did I not gap these? But here we go. They actually seem to wear pretty good. Everything looked okay. So, let's pull our new ones out. Go pop those suckers in there. Let's go throw all these in and we'll hook our wires up and move on to the passenger side. Okay, so we got our wires all hooked up. You can see right there, we got everything back in. Got the coil wire back up connected. We got everything looking pretty good. Okay, so you can see we got all of our wires put on to at least our cap there onto the distributor. So that's all set up, all routed on the driver's side. We got them all routed just like they're supposed to be in the TSB. So that all looks great. Coming right down, plugged into our wires right down there. And then on the other side, get them routed how they're supposed to be. And I'm going to protect this one, as far as this one in here, touching the throttle body. I'm going to throw a little bit of protection on that just to make sure it doesn't wear through. Because this, guys, is essentially why we're doing this. Right there. If you can even see it, let's see, let's move you over this side. There you are. Right there. That is cracked. And I noticed it when I pulled the intake off to reseal the intake. And I went, okay, well, I need to fix this. That's why I decided I need to do plugs or wires, obviously. And I taped it, and yeah, that's how hot it is. That's where my little weird misfire is happening from. So we're going to avoid that happening again by protecting that and not have that happen. And then we just need to pull the plugs out on the passenger side here, put the plugs in, run our wires in, and we should be good to go. So we're gonna get a piece probably about, probably about that long. A little longer. We'll trim the other side up too. I'm just gonna cut that out. Put this off to the side. I'm gonna trim this piece out, make it look better. There we go. And that piece right there, we're just gonna slip over that wire. Just keep it from chafing at all. And that should solve our problem there. Very simple. Just kind of get in here. We'll just pry this apart just a hair. There we go. All right. And we're going for this wire right here. So I don't know if we're a really good camera spot to put you guys. How's that? That's not bad. So we kind of need to, so I'm going to pop this out. Our separator. I can get a decent shot at this. We're just going to slide this on here. I don't know if it had anything from the factory, but again, I'm just going to avoid that chafing because that's kind of a pain. Popped up. There we go. Just like that. Just going to slide that back through here. There we go. All right. And clip it back into our separator. And just like that, we should be good to go. You can see right there. Nice and protected all the way through there. Up against where it's rubbing. It pops out on this side. I'm just checking to see if anything else has any kind of potential rubbing issues, but I don't think so. I think that was it. All right, let's pull some plugs out. I think that's where we're pretty much at. We got the protection on them. Let's pull some plugs out of here, see how those look. All right, got the 4 out on the passenger side. They're not bad. I would say between these, well, actually, I'll say about the same. I'd say it might look a little worse, but they look about the same. Got our new plugs, all gapped out, ready to go. Let's go ahead and throw these guys in. So there is one thing, so pretty much I'd use kind of a mix of everything for this side. So the middle two can reach with a ratchet and just kind of a short extension right here. The back one had to use a longer extension. And the front one, there's a little air canister thingy right there for the smog pump. That one actually had to use a wrench on there to get that guy off. Nothing crazy. So let's get these new plugs installed. Super simple to do, and then we'll route our wires over to them, make it look all clean, and then it's time for, I think it's time for a test drive after that. Make sure everything feels all smooth, drives all good, everything's nice and happy. So, got all new spark plugs on there on the passenger side. And we're gonna go back to our wire routing. So there's a TSB about this. I don't know if this is what it is, about spark plug wire routing. Essentially, it's to help a couple. There's 2 of them. I don't remember which ones it is. There it is. If 7 and 8, or 2 and 4 are next to each other, it can potentially cause a crossfire condition. So that's what we're trying to avoid here. And just make sure everything is actually wired how it should be. So they actually give you diagrams of how they all should be connected to the cap, and then how they should run to the separators, and how they should be positioned, and everything. So that's what we followed for the driver's side right there. Kind of looks similar, you know. Kind of looks similar, a little less, but you know, kind of similar. So we need to do the passenger side here. And so the passenger side is really simple. So we're going to have them all in order, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we just drop them down to where they need to be. And then we just need a 3 and a 2 wire separator, it looks like. So 1 is going to go straight down, then separate the 3, drop the 2 down, separate the 2, drop the 7, or drop the 3 and the 4 down. Should be pretty simple. Should be pretty simple. So let's throw some dielectric grease in these and let's start putting them in. All right, got them all wired up down here, so I have to kind of push them underneath stuff here, kind of get them to reach. Number 1 wouldn't quite reach where they were, so underneath everything, I think that'll work okay. And then, yeah, got them all hooked up, all plugged in here. Should be all good to go. Kind of double check, make sure that's all good. Running on the coil. I think we're good to fire this thing up. Make sure it sounds all good. Let's see here. Excuse the clamps, I'm working on something else. Running pretty smooth. Okay, give it a little gas here. All right, I think we've got to take it for a test drive and make sure everything sounds and feels all good. I think we're all set. All right, just took it on a test drive. Had to do a little bit of troubleshooting because it wasn't running quite right. It took a second to try to figure out what was going on. Essentially, we stopped on the side of the road, tried to look at it, didn't see too much because the sun was shining right on the engine bay. Came back to the garage, I pulled in to check the transmission fluid, something else I needed to do. And when I went to check it, I saw one of the spark plug wires was just sparking everywhere around where the spark plug was. So I went, oh crap, so I shut it off and I checked it, make sure, see if it was seated all the way. And when I was checking to see if it was seated all the way, well, yeah, the spark plug was broken in half. So I don't know how that happened. I don't think I've ever had that happen to me. But yeah, so bad spark plug. And we pulled one of our old ones that we had and scapped it out to right where it should be. Put it in the truck. Runs fine now. Runs great, like it should be. So pretty much we just need to go get another spark plug, throw that into that. That's cylinder number 3 that was acting all weird. So throw that spark plug in there. This thing's all set to go. We got new plugs and wires installed in this thing. Runs great, sounds great. Definitely something that needed to be done, especially the plug wires, because that makes a difference. It runs smoother now. So hopefully you guys enjoyed watching me install some spark plugs and wires on the Bronco, and we'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.